It's Monday, review time on Cthulhu the Dark One's channel. Yeah! Theme music brought to you by just trying to start the video different. Okay, anyway. Silliness over. It is Monday video time, and today we are taking a look at the Iron Man Armored Avenger. I'll give you a shot of the package here. 6-inch version, or the tall ones. Crimson Dnynamo. Now they've had a couple Crimson Dynamos out in the Iron Man comic and concept lines. Most of them are pretty old school looking. This one, I like it because it's different. It doesn't have like the big shoulder pads. It's more of a like rip-offish Iron Man-y sort of thing. And pretty good little figure. I look for this guy in stores forever. I eventually just ordered him online to save myself a little bit of trouble, but it's a good little figure. Now, I've said it before, I said it in my Reveltech review, and I'll do some reviews of the other Iron Man 6-inch. One thing you just gotta watch for on these guys, you see that little smudge on his cheek there, that little gray splotch, and he's really not that bad. You can kind of see it on his arm there, the kind of like red speckles in the paint. But other than that, he's really solid. But that's just something you kind of have to watch for in these larger scale Iron Man figures. Is they do have some paint difficulty sometimes. Like you'll get something smeared or something like the silver wouldn't be right down here or something like that. But this one's actually pretty good. And unfortunately, without going to a store, you really can't tell. So when you order it online, just keep your fingers crossed. But a pretty solid figure. About, like I said, about 6-inch line is what they quote them as being. There it is for size comparison. Other than the figure, it comes with its goofy little electro blast missile launcher that would snap on his arm. I think it looks stupid, so I don't display him with it, but he does come with it, and press the button, shoots the orange booger missile. But anyway, the figure itself I just really like. I like the look of it. The back of the package, to me, Crimson Dynamo has always just kind of been like the Russian kind of rip-off Iron Man. This actually plays it up like he has almost a completely different power set. Like he's more electric-based than anything, which is pretty cool because if you know what a dynamo does, it produces electricity. So that's kind of cool. And I just like the way... Like you can see like the detail on his ribs there. Like it almost doesn't even look like a guy in a suit. It just kind of looks like almost kind of like a robotic sort of thing, or kind of Colossus skin, I guess you could say. But the really good paint job. The red's pretty shiny and reflective like metal would be, so that's pretty cool. No foot thrusters. The only thing he has to indicate some sort of flight ability are these. I guess the way the back is kind of molded, and these kind of come down like thrusters, sort of. I'll admit I don't read comics as much as I used to. Good articulation. Before I go into all his articulation, I will make a note. Normally both wrists could swivel all the way around and pivot. No big deal. I took this guy out of the box. All his joints were pretty, needed a little bit of working to get him moving. I got everything moving. I got to this wrist, and it was a little tight. And I was like, dang, that's kind of tight. So I went over to this one. I'm like, okay, yeah, it does move. While trying to loosen this joint, the hand just right off. And, I mean, that was like right out of the box. So I'll admit sometimes I have dumb, stupid, get the one bad one out of the bunch luck like that. So, unfortunately mine, and you can kind of see the dried super glue there, does not have that wrist articulation because I had to glue the hand back on there. It was a very clean break, and I actually did try to glue it back so the joint would function, but it just didn't dry quite right. But I mostly just display them, so no horrible loss. But anyway, on to articulation. So the head's on ball joints, so you can swivel all the way around. Get a look up, I'm going to fly at you pose. The chest is kind of, it has like the typical ab joint, but just the way it's kind of designed in there, I kind of like. I don't know. It's just kind of weird, but and oddly enough, he comes like super puff his chest out in the package. Like he was literally like that out of the box. So, but good chest articulation. The only thing I might worry about is if you move it a lot, it might rub that black off. But so far, no problems. Again, all I do is mostly display them. So, looks like there's a cat hair stuck in his armpit. But anyway. Shoulder is on a ball joint, in and out. It is hindered by his top molded armor here, so I can only go up that far. But you can go forward, backwards, pretty much until you hit the top armor, and that's its articulation. Has a double elbow joint. No, he has swivel up at the upper bicep there. But that's about it for whole arm rotation. And then again, the wrist would spin separately from that. Not on mine, but I know another kind of dumb gripe about Iron Man figures: the War Machine and Iron Man come with separate hands, so you could have them both fisted or both having fists. I know that's kind of a stupid gripe, but I don't know. It's because, I got the Titanium Man, and it's pretty much the same thing. Like, this hand's like, "Arr!" and the other one's a fist. So, I don't know. I guess just I want a little bit more variety in molding, but what can you do? He does have full waist 360. The infamous ball, sorta half-ass Marvel Legends Iron Man joint, as it comes to know. It's weird. You can kind of see it on this one. It's a lighter gray plastic right there in the middle. That's where it's angled to come in and out at. And then from that, you just kind of have to fiddle with it. I mean, you really can't even rotate his leg forward and backward all that well, just the way the joint's hooked in there. So, but anyway. Upper leg rotation. Single knee joint. Even though you can see the connections for two spots, but it is only a single joint. And then ankle joint and foot swivel. So pretty good. And it doesn't seem like it when I move it. Like, I can move it and it'll hold. I think it's actually more this knee, because you can see the knee really doesn't hold. But I had a heck of a time getting this guy to stand up at first. I thought it was his ankle, but I think it might be his knee. But overall, pretty solid little figure. Kind of a different looking Crimson Dynamo than what you're used to. They kind of half-assed him in Iron Man 2. In case you don't know, Ivan Vanko is traditionally Crimson Dynamo's name, not Whiplash, but it is Marvel after all, so they can do whatever the hell they want. I would like, if they do put him in 3, I would like to see something like this, because it looks like a suit that somebody made to copy Iron Man, Like, I mean, I know that's what it's supposed to look like, but, But yeah, just pretty good little detail. You got, like, the Colossus skin. I just really like that. Like, it's a neat little detail. It's the way it looks. Instead of just, like, one solid color of red or whatever. But, yeah. Iron Man 6-inch Armored Avenger line. Crimson Dynamo. Coming up, I'll have a couple more I got like 1 or 2 more Iron Man. Then we'll move into the Marvel Universe and go from there. So until Wednesday, well, if you do anything I wouldn't do, just don't name it after me. How about that? Can we agree on that? Okay, cool.